Hey guys, it's Sarah. So in today's video, I'm going to be updating you on some e.l.f. products that I hauled back in May. I did a haul of some e.l.f. makeup and skincare products. And of course, in the haul, I was really just kind of showing you what I bought. I hadn't really tried everything or tested everything out very thoroughly yet. So today I'm going to be giving you my updated thoughts on everything, actually sharing some in-depth reviews on all the products. It was about half makeup and half skincare. I'm going to go ahead and start with the skincare because I did film demos of everything and I kind of want to go in order of how things would be applied to my face chronologically. So let's start with that skincare stuff. The first skincare product I picked up was their Hydrating Serum. It says it has purified water, aloe, and green tea. And I really am enjoying this. It has a very lightweight kind of lotion-y look and feel to it. And it kind of just adds a nice extra layer of hydration and glow to your skin. I always apply this underneath moisturizer. I don't think this would be moisturizing enough to use on its own. I think you probably will need a moisturizer to go on top of this because I mean it is a serum. Ingredient wise, I don't think there's anything really that special or exciting about this. There are no like active ingredients in here. It's just kind of a lot of hydrating and emollient ingredients. It has glycerin, dimethicone, which gives it a little bit of an occlusive feel, shea butter, jojoba seed oil, grapeseed oil, aloe, which can be kind of soothing, green tea leaf extract, sodium hyaluronate. So it's basically just hydrating. I don't think this is gonna like work any miracles for your skin, but it's a nice product and I do like it. The main con to this, and honestly to a lot of e.l.f. skincare products, it has this kind of bulky outer clear packaging and then inside there is a more narrow tube that contains the serum. And so it kind of makes it look like there's more in here than there actually is. I don't necessarily mind that as much as I just mind the fact that it's a lot of extra bulky plastic and it just feels kind of wasteful to me. And on top of that, I don't know if this is recyclable. It doesn't have a number on it. And so I would be hesitant to just throw this into my usual recycling because I don't know if they would accept it. I don't know what kind of plastic this is and it's just not clearly marked as recyclable. So I will definitely look into that some more and see if there is a way to recycle this, but I don't know, it just kind of bothers me. I feel like they could have put this in much simpler packaging. It still could have been pretty packaging, but I just wish it was more sustainable, you know, like less bulky and recyclable. That's like all I'm asking for. It's really not that hard, but if you are wanting to stick to kind of more sustainable packaging, I don't know that I would recommend this because of that, but the product inside is nice. So the next two things that I purchased in the haul were two different face creams. One was the Holy Hydration face cream. This was a repurchase. I have already used one of these up. I love this face cream, and this is the fragrance-free version of that. They also have one with fragrance. And then I also decided to try their Happy Hydration cream. I got the mini size. This was only $4, so it was a good way to kind of test it out without committing to the full size, but you still get a really good amount of product in there. So I really just kind of wanted to compare these two because I love the Holy Hydration so much. I kind of just wanted to see what the Happy Hydration was all about. The main thing about this one is that it has hemp-derived cannabis sativa in it, which I feel like every brand is coming out with some sort of cannabis-infused products these days. But honestly, as far as like texture and feel and what it does to my skin, these are super similar. Like, they feel like the same product. So I looked at the ingredients and the main difference is that the Happy Hydration has cannabis sativa seed oil, aka hemp seed oil, as the second ingredient. So it's very high on the ingredient list. The Holy Hydration one does not have that. So that's the main difference. If you're wanting to experiment with that cannabis ingredient in your skincare, then this is the one you want to go for. Another slight difference I noticed is that the Happy Hydration maybe feels slightly less thick than the Holy Hydration, but it's a very slight difference. And most of the ingredients are very similar. The only other difference is that the Happy Hydration does not contain squalane, whereas the Holy Hydration does. The Happy Hydration cream has BHT as the last ingredient, whereas Holy Hydration does not have that. And Hello Hydration, so the kind of original one, has dimethicone in it, whereas the Happy Hydration does not. I'm having such a hard time keeping the names straight in my head. Also because Holy Hydration used to be called Hello Hydration, so I've probably said Hello Hydration already in this video. Hello Hydration, Holy Hydration, same thing, and then Happy Hydration. It's just so hard to keep them all separate in my head. Yeah, Hello Hydration does have dimethicone in it. That is sort of like an occlusive ingredient, so that may explain why this one feels a little bit thicker to me than this one. All the other ingredients are the same. They're both fragrance-free, both have niacinamide, both have sodium hyaluronate, and both have polyethylene, which is an ingredient that I know a lot of people are kind of trying to avoid right now. It's basically a type of plastic, which I know sounds super scary right off the bat. Most people freak out when they hear that. It is what those little microbeads that they used to put in face scrubs are made of, but these of course don't have microbeads in them. A, those scrubs were banned, I think, and two, it can come in many forms. It can either be a solid microbead or it can be kind of a wax type of texture, and that's used as kind of like a texture enhancer or a binding agent, that sort of thing. That's what these have in them. So as far as the research I've done, I've kind of decided polyethylene, I'm not concerned about it being unhealthy for my skin. And as far as environmental impact, a lot of people avoid like cleansing balms with that ingredient just because it's like getting into the water supply. I have not been able to find any like scientific articles or studies that show that it is harmful to the environment in wax form. Obviously it sounds like it would be because it's literally plastic. It's a type of plastic, and that sounds bad, but just because something sounds bad doesn't always mean that it is. If anybody has found any evidence that is harmful to marine life or harmful to the environment in any way, please send it my way, because I haven't been able to find anything. And of course I don't want to assume that it's good or bad, but anyway, long story short, I think for now I've decided, at least in leave-on products like this, that I'm not immediately washing down the drain. It really doesn't bother me. I'm not concerned about it having any kind of harmful effects on my skin, but I'm not going to tell you what to think because I'm not an expert anyway, but all I can do is decide what I feel comfortable with putting on my skin, and for now, I'm okay with it. So they both do contain polyethylene, in case that is a concern for you. As far as my experience with both, they feel super similar on my skin. They do the same thing. I don't notice any difference, so I honestly don't have a preference between either of these. And the full size of this comes with the same amount of product as the Holy Hydration, and they're the same price. So they're basically the exact same thing, just with some slight differences in ingredients. The other thing about these is they are also not marked as recyclable. They don't have the number of plastic on them, and it does come in a very thick plastic container. And so that's the only thing about this that may lead me to kind of seek out an alternative, just because the packaging, I don't know if I can recycle this. I really don't. I'm gonna try to find out, and I do want to do a video soon on like how to recycle makeup and skincare packaging. Stay tuned for that. I need to do a lot more research first, but anyway, that is another complaint I have. I just wish that they would make this more clearly marked as recyclable, because I don't know. And also just less bulky packaging would be fantastic. Thanks, Elf. Okay, the next product that I tried out is their Daily Face Cleanser with purified water. That always makes me laugh, because I'm pretty sure any skincare product, if you look at the ingredients, the very first ingredient is almost always water. So that's not like a special thing. This is $4. You get 5 fluid ounces, so it is a bargain, which makes me really happy. This does contain fragrance. You guys know I usually try to avoid fragrance, but I think for now I've decided, at least with wash-off products like cleansers, I don't really mind if there's fragrance in it, as long as I don't notice it bothering my skin, just because it's not something that's sitting on my skin for a long period of time. It's probably on my skin for a maximum of like 60 seconds and then I wash it off. So I'm not super concerned about that, especially if I can find a super basic, cheap cleanser like this. I'm willing to let it go. So this is incredibly basic, no very exciting ingredients. There's no like active ingredients in here that I can see. The scent of this is kind of a strong perfumey scent. So again, I haven't noticed it irritating my skin, but if you don't like sort of a strong perfumey scent, you probably would want to skip this. But I really like it. It cleanses my skin. It does lather up a little bit. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this, honestly. It says infused with purified water to hydrate the skin. That's not, I don't think that's true. This is not gonna hydrate your skin. It's not hydrating at all. In fact, it does leave my skin feeling a tiny bit stripped, like most foaming cleansers do. So obviously I follow it up with some nice moisturizers and serums and my skin is totally fine, but yeah, there's nothing special about this, but if you want to save some money and just pick up a super cheap cleanser that gets the job done, it's a good option. And then the last skincare product was a complete and total fail. This is the Hydrating Bubble Mask. Oh my gosh, I cannot even tell you. Oh my god. Okay, I just want to read you the description of this. The description makes me cringe. Cleanse and moisturize your skin with this hydrating bubble mask. Watch as the gel fizzes into thousands of tiny bubbles. Oh my god, just reading that makes my skin itch so bad. That gently wash away dirt and clear out pores, leaving your skin with a hydrated glow. That makes no sense. This is not hydrating. Let me just tell you about my experience with this. So I used this once, and I will never use it again. It comes out like a gel, like it says. You push down this pump and it comes out through the middle. Comes out like a gel, you apply it to your skin, and within a few seconds it starts to foam up. It bubbles up. And while those bubbles are forming, it was so uncomfortable. It was itching, it was tingling, it was burning, it was just really bad. It says to leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes. I think I maybe made it 2 minutes and I just had to wash it off. And as I was rinsing it off, it got in my eyes, which just added to the overall uncomfortable experience of using this product. So this did not work for me. I found it very irritating. My skin felt like my skin was kind of tingling for a while after I rinsed it off too. So this did not do any favors for me. And so I looked at the ingredients out of curiosity, and it's basically just a bunch of kind of detergents and cleansing agents. I know I'm talking a lot about ingredients. I'm not an expert at all. I am not a dermatologist, duh, or any kind of skincare expert. I just enjoy researching ingredients and reading about what they do. So the source that I use is just the Paula's Choice ingredient dictionary. They have like almost every ingredient under the sun. You can look it up and it kind of tells you what its purpose is and whether or not it's good or bad or average or whatever. So most of the ingredients in here are just like cleansing agents that you would find in a cleanser, which explains, you know, the foaming stuff. And the only remotely hydrating ingredient that I could find in this is glycerin, which is in like everything. Like, that's not a special ingredient at all. Glycerin, I think, is mainly a humectant, so that might give this a little bit of a hydrating property, but all of that foaming and like cleansing action in the bubbles, I'm guessing, is probably going to counteract any kind of hydrating properties of this. This, I don't know. The whole thing just sounds really gimmicky to me, but this has 4.3 stars on e.l.f.'s website and over 4,000 reviews, so obviously it's working for somebody. If you love this product, please let me know. Like, what does it do for you? What do you like about it? I'm just really curious. I'm sure it wouldn't irritate everyone's skin like it did mine, but wow, that was just an awful experience. So this I will be decluttering. I think I already told you guys I was decluttering this in my like bathroom declutter. It's gotta go. I kept it for this review, but it's gonna be out of here now. I do not want that in my life. I don't even know why I bought it. Like, oh, and the other thing is this does have fragrance in it, even though on the website ingredient list, it doesn't list fragrance. When I got it in the mail, like on the packaging, there is fragrance listed. And there definitely is fragrance, I could smell it. There's a definite added fragrance to this, so I just wouldn't recommend that. All right, so that is all the skincare, and now on to the makeup. So one of the things I picked up was their Shimmer highlighting powder, and then I also wanted to try this Precision Feather Light highlighting brush. So you'll see me using both of these in the demo coming up here, but the highlighting brush I really like. It's very fluffy and wispy and kind of like flexible, way different than my usual go-to, the Real Techniques setting brush. Completely different. So I was really curious to see how this applies highlight. The highlight actually really does show up with this. It has a nice amount of taper to kind of pick up the product, but it just gives a very diffused application. So I really do enjoy this. I've pretty much only used it for highlighter. I haven't used it or tried it for anything else, but I do like it. If you like a more fluffy highlighter brush, or you just want to try a fluffier brush, I definitely recommend it. It's very soft. I just like how kind of floppy it is. Is that weird? Like, I don't know why that's satisfying to me, but it is. And the Shimmer highlighting powder, I have the shade Rose Glow. This is a very kind of light pinky rosy highlight, and I like this highlighter, I really do. It's more of a subtle highlight, like, I mean, you can see it definitely shows up, but it's not glittery or metallic at all. It just gives you kind of a soft, pearlescent sheen. The thing about this that I have noticed though is you do need to be kind of careful with it and not be too heavy-handed, because whenever I do kind of get a little too highlighter happy, which does happen a lot, it does kind of emphasize texture and just look kind of weird on my skin. So I just recommend using a light hand with it, but it is really pretty. It's not like my favorite highlighter formula ever. Like, I think it could be a little bit smoother going on, but it's nice. I also wanted to try one of their primer infused blushes. I decided to go for one of their primer infused shimmer blushes. They also have matte ones, and I chose the shade Always Hazy, which is a very unique color, kind of a beigey berry. And it does have a little bit of shimmer to it. I like this, but it is very pigmented. Like, I kind of am wishing I had gone for maybe a little bit of a lighter shade, but I think this would work really well for more medium skin tones. It's just, it's so pigmented. Like, I have to like barely tap my brush in there one time. And I feel like it maybe isn't the most blendable formula ever, but maybe that's just the way that this color looks on my skin tone, you know? So I'm maybe not the best person to go to for a review of this shade, just because the shade is a little much for me. It doesn't look like it would be too dark, but it kind of is, you know? But I can still make it work. The other thing is, I was kind of hoping for the shimmer to give my cheeks more of a glow, you know? But it's a pretty subtle shimmer, which is good. Like, I'm glad there's not like a lot of little glittery shimmery particles in there. It's kind of a soft shimmer, but I was just kind of hoping it would give my cheeks a little bit more of a sheen, and it doesn't really do that, which is fine, you know? I'm not too upset about it, but yeah, I like this, but I'm not, it's not like my new favorite blush, you know? But that could be partially because of the shade. Okay, another thing I purchased, this was just a repurchase, their Wow Brow Gel. I really like this. I have the shade Taupe. This is the second one that I've owned, and it has a nice small brush. I feel like it can help me get my brows looking a little bit fluffy, or I can just kind of get them to hold in place after I filled them in. So yeah, it's a good brow gel. Not a whole lot to say about that. You guys heard me talk about that a lot. I also purchased an eye brush. This is their Fluffy Eye Blender Brush, and you'll see me using this in the demo where I'm applying the bite-size eyeshadow quad in Rosewater, which I also purchased in this haul. So I really like this brush. It's very fluffy, and I like how it kind of comes to not quite a point, but almost. It is a little bit more pointy than some other fluffy brushes. This is the MOTD Seamless Sheer Blend, and this is the e.l.f. Fluffy Eye Blender, and I like how this one's a little bit pointier because I feel like it can kind of get into the contour of my eye, but still blend things out in a really nice way. So it's like the perfect shape to me for a very fluffy blending brush. Great for just applying any kind of crease color, transition color, or just blending things out once you're done with the look. I really like this brush. I really do. Then the bite-sized eyeshadow in Rosewater, I also love. I've been talking about it like nonstop. I think I already talked about this in a favorites video. Actually, I think I already talked about the blender brush in a favorites video too. But I love this quad. It's beautiful. It's got a really light pinky shimmer color, this matte sort of light taupey mauve. Kind of matches my shirt, doesn't it? Or my tank top. This kind of more mid-toned mauve-y shimmer, and then this very, very deep eggplant here. This deepest shade is so deep and so pigmented, which is great. I actually like that shade more than I thought I would. I am wearing that just in my outer corner today, and I actually feel like it shows up like a really pretty deep purple. It defines my eye really well. The only thing is I have to be so careful with that shade. Like, barely tap my brush in and then tap off the excess, and there's a lot of excess even when I only barely tap it in. So it's super powdery and super pigmented, but I'm also wearing that on my lower lash line as a liner. It's just kind of insane to me like how intense that shade is, but you know, I'd rather it be super intense than like not show up at all. Normally I wouldn't even like a shade like that, but I have to say I actually like it. Like, I feel like it does a good job just kind of defining the outer V. It's a really useful shade to have in there, and I'm glad it's there. So yeah, I love this quad. I've used it so much that I almost feel like I'm close to hitting pan on some of the shades, so if that tells you anything. All right, and then the last product, I actually got this as just a gift with purchase, but I love it. It's their moisturizing lipstick in Flirty and Fabulous, which is this bright pink, and it's kind of a blue-based pink. I really like this formula. It's definitely moisturizing. It's very comfortable. I don't even really feel like I'm wearing lipstick right now. And I actually like that it's sort of sheer, and I don't mean sheer as in translucent or anything. Like, it does show up, but it's not just like full-on opaque color like a liquid lipstick would be, or even other bullet lipsticks like this. It just goes on in a very thin layer, and you can build it up to be more intense, or you can just wear it more sheer. And I feel like that just makes it a little bit more comfortable and wearable, and it doesn't quite feel as intimidating as some other like hot pink lipsticks. So I've been having a lot of fun with this. I love this for the spring and summer, and I find that it doesn't stain my lips as badly as another hot pink lipstick that I have from Wet n Wild. What's the name of that shade? I don't remember, but yeah, it's just a really fun color. I think if you're wanting to try out a really bold color, this is a great formula because, like I said, it's just very comfortable and not too thick or like in your face, you know? So really happy with that. I'm glad I got it as a gift with purchase because I wouldn't have thought to buy this. So those are all the products that were in my most recent e.l.f. haul. I hope this was helpful and kind of gave you a better idea of all these products and whether or not they're worth trying. Honestly, I guess verdict is I like all of them except for that hydrating bubble mask. Not a huge fan of that at all. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you again soon. I do talk about a lot of e.l.f. products on my channel. They're just so affordable, and I feel like they consistently come out with really high quality products. It's like, I feel like their quality has gotten better and better over the years. And yeah, I'm always impressed by their products. So I'd love to see you again soon, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.